Yo, BC in this mug. Port court, Bitcoin business. Rise and grind, time to stack sats. Wake up, hit the block, explorer. See my future looking bolder than a hardware wallet. Cold storage, got that laser focus. No mirage, just hodl age. Fiat full, stay mad, stay salty while my crypto bag's getting hefty. Good morning, crypto. It's a brand new day. Stacking Bitcoin, come what may. Good morning, crypto. Making moves from the basement straight to the news. They sleeping on the tech blind, thinking central banks are so kind. I'm out here building brick by brick. Decentralized future, that's the trick. No permission needed, straight fire. Got that digital scarcity desire. Sets, I want more to the moon, that's what we're here for. Good morning, crypto, it's a brand new day. Stacking Bitcoin, come what may. Good morning, crypto, making moves from the basement straight to the news. Sats, I want more to the moon, that's what we're here for. Good morning, crypto, it's a brand new day. Stacking Bitcoin, come what may. Good morning, crypto, making moves from the basement straight to the news. Yeah, wake the hell up. Charts ain't waiting and neither am I. It's BC Port Corp, and this is Good Morning Crypto. Let's run it. Good morning to the streets, to the charts, to the grind. I ain't sipping no latte, I'm sipping all time. Woke up with the market in a headlock grip. See the wick break out, that's my exit flip. Digital hustle, I don't sleep much. Cold wallet thick like it just did crunch. Fiat crashing, I just laugh in the mirror. Good morning truth, now the picture get clearer. Yeah, I'm up before sunrise, no snooze on my plays. Whales still dreaming, I'm setting my trays. I ain't here for likes, I ain't here for clout. I'm here for that check when the trend breaks out. I spit blocks, hash rates, having dates. Got alpha in my veins, no time for fakes. SEC lurking, but I move like a ghost. Mixing TA and game, call me the host. This my show, this my tone, this my throne. Good morning, crypto, I stand alone. Good morning to the streets, to the charts, to the grind. I ain't sipping no latte, I'm sipping all time. Woke up with the market in a headlock grip. See the wick break out, that's my exit flip. Digital hustle, I don't sleep much. Cold wallet thick like it just did crunch. Fiat crashing, I just laugh in the mirror. Good morning truth, now the picture get clearer.
Step 1, wake up, brother, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
unplug and plug it back in, and boom, there we go. All right, good morning. Hope everyone's having a great morning so far. We hopped into a link trade as a community yesterday, and we're sitting in some profits. I am targeting a little more upside, but we'll take a look at that chart here in a second, and then we'll see what we want to do as a group. So far, we have 67% voting for some take profits, and we will see if you agree with that once we take a look at that chart. We do have some news to go over today. There's some big economic data coming out today. We'll touch on a news article on top of that, jobs numbers, and I did see a downgrade on a GDP forecast coming out for Q3. So we will hop into that news article as well, and then we'll take a look at some charts. I did see Jay asking if I had taken a trade on, where was that? Let me scroll on up there. He asked if I took the Fannie Mae trade. I did not. I did not take that trade. I'm not even sure if I'm able to with my exchange. It is all OTC at the moment, so I'm not even sure that I could have taken that trade. But we can take a look at that chart, FNMA. All right, I got that on the list. If we got any other requests for me to take a look at, go ahead and throw those in the chat. We will get to those in just a second. You know what I got pulled up in the background? He said, Chase lets you. Well, I have Chase, but I don't invest through Chase. So might have to take a look at that. All right, we've got that stock heat map pulled up in the background. Like always, we're seeing a little bit of a mixed bag this morning. We've got Apple sitting to the downside off of its close, and this morning sitting down 0.3%. Nvidia looking a little bit to the upside, up 0.77 off of its close, sitting up 0.82% this morning. We've got Berkshire Hathaway closing to the downside yesterday, looking quite neutral this morning, down 0.08%. We've got Amazon looking quite nice off of its close, up 1.51%. Looking to the upside this morning as well, up 0.12. We've got Eli Lilly up 1.57 off of its close yesterday. Looking to the downside this morning though, down 0.14. We've got, let me get that light adjusted a little bit, washing me out. To the wrong direction there. Let me get that light fixed. There we go. That's a little bit better. We've got ExxonMobil looking neutral this morning with 0% change on the board. We've got Tesla looking to the upside, 0.37%. We've got P&G down 0.01. Microsoft closing to the upside and continuing on that upside this morning, up 0.27. We've got Google closing to the downside, but seeing a little bit of green this morning, just sitting in that neutral, up 0.1. And we've got Meta to wrap that on out, down 0.02 off of its close, sitting to the upside this morning, 0.4%. I see a request for GMX. I will get that on the list, GMX. All right, let's hop over to the crypto side of things. We're seeing some nice green bubbles. Let's scroll it on down here. We got Bitcoin up 0.8%. Ethereum up 0.9%, XRP up 2.9%. We've got BNB up 0.6% this morning, and Solana sitting up 4.2%. Dogecoin sitting up 2.9%. We've got Cardano taking a spot in that market cap from Tron, sitting up 4.8%. Tron sitting up 1.3%. We've got Chainlink up 3.7%. Hyperliquid up 8.6%. We've got SWI sitting up 4.3%. Stellar Lumens up 4.2%. We've got Bitcoin Cash down 1.5%, losing a spot in that market cap from Stellar Lumens. We've got HBAR up 4.5%. Leo token up 0.3%, and Litecoin up 0.6%. Let's hop over to those fear and greed meters. We got that stock side looking extremely neutral, sitting at 52. Did get a little bit of a move towards the upside, but still extremely neutral on that fear and greed. On the crypto side of things, though, we are down a few points, still sitting in that neutral range, but could very easily tick to some fear if we end up losing some key levels. We will take a look at those levels here in a second. We do have some liquidity sitting directly below us. That's the longs that were piling in from the lows the other day, sitting at that $111,000 mark for some bottom side liquidity on the daily. We do have that 3-day looking quite nice for some bottom side liquidity as well, sitting still at that $111,000 mark. We do have some top side liquidity though. I have to zoom that out just a little bit further. That 1 week's got that broad range of liquidity we had talked about yesterday, sitting at $113,500 and ranging all the way up to $114,000. A very big, broad range of liquidity, about a $500 gap where you could really scoop up quite a bit of liquidity. That is also our CME gap that we were talking about from the other day. Could see that come in as some resistance, but could very easily continue towards the upside and grab all of that liquidity. We'll take a look at that chart here in just a second. Before we hop into that economic calendar though, since we're on this right now, we are seeing some nice consolidation on that link trade that we took. I see 50% take profit and 50% let it hold. So here's where we're sitting for link right now. I did move up that stop loss to the highs of the previous consolidation range. My limit order did not come in back when we got that dip down to 22.83. It was sitting at 22.85. When it didn't fill, I just ended up filling that myself. So we are sitting from 22 about 98 is where we got in. We are seeing this consolidation here. We have that upside target of about $24.25. Let's hop over to trading view. We'll pull up that link chart here. We are seeing a little bit of some resistance at a fair value gap. That's an area where we had talked about potentially taking profits, but we do still have some room towards the upside on this daily here. So seeing that prime oscillator get that curvature up, MACD also getting that curvature towards the upside as we've broken above a trend line here. Zooming on in, taking a look at that hourly, you are seeing that hourly look a little bit toppy here, so you could see a little bit of some pullback. That's why I'd put that stop loss at the highs from that consolidation range. We do have the potential for a little bit of some pullback here, but on those higher term time frames, you still have the potential to continue towards the upside here. So I am more of a swing trader. That's why I was looking at more of a bigger move here. We could definitely target back up to about that 25-ish dollar range for a take profit. That would be a multi-day trade. If y'all want to close this out and find a new trade though, we can definitely do that, or we can continue to ride this out. That daily is looking extremely nice for a continuation as we have broken outside of that trend line and a nice little consolidation range. So it is up to y'all. We will do either take a profit, or we will find that new trade, or we can let it ride and try to make our way back up to those upside targets at that $236 and $24 and about 96 cents. Y'all let me know what you're thinking. Let's hop over to that economic calendar because we are seeing a heavy data drop this morning. Let's see what we got for today's data. Scrolling on down, that hot data drop coming out at 10 a.m. That's going to be our non-farm payrolls annual revision. This is a big news drop, data drop for the morning. It is prior 818,000 revision to the downside, and we are potentially forecasted to have about a 500,000 revision towards the downside to as high as 1,000,000 jobs revision towards the downside. The news article we have for later will talk a little bit more about that. That's pretty much our only heavy data drop for today. Unless you're trading that Asia time zone, we do have some inflation data coming out of China, looking like it could push things towards the downside as you are looking at some negative inflation numbers there. Scrolling on down, we do have a very heavy data drop coming out tomorrow as well. That's going to be that PPI, but we'll get more into that tomorrow. Let's hop over to that Bitcoin chart. Say good morning to some of the people in the chat here. We got Duality C first in the house. Crypto Bedell, good morning to you, sir. Hope you're having a great day so far. We got JR first in here. Third in here. Good morning to you, sir. We've got Melissa in the chat. Good morning. Let's see who else we got. We got Jay in here. Good morning. He asked for that Fannie Mae. We will take a look at that here in a little bit. We got Dylan VA. Good morning to you. We got Jay Violet in here. Good evening to you, madam. Let's scroll it on down. See who else we got. Love the intro song. So positive and chill. Yeah, we having quite a bit of music choices as I've continued to make more and more music. All of the no audios because my mic was messing up. Right before I went live was testing the mic, went live, and then when we actually went to talk, the mic wasn't working. So glad we got that fixed out. Let's see. I took profit and added back in lower, says JR. Just took some more and we'll add lower again because that's what I do. Well, that's a nice move on a link trade. Could definitely see a little bit lower. I like to focus on the big moves, you know. I don't worry about the little 15-minute moves or the 1 hour move, which, you know, not necessarily a small move, but when you've got your daily chart looking as nice as it has, you do see Bitcoin bumping up against some resistance, but we are seeing some nice consolidations here as we're approaching a very key area to close and a lot of liquidity in that area. I do potentially see some big upside movements, not necessarily today or tomorrow, but as we consolidate a little bit more, can continue to ride that towards the upside, still stay in profits the whole time, and then really hit those big upside targets about that $25 range. So definitely have the potential for some more upside there. We got Darren Does Things. Good morning to you. Kyle Fields in the chat. Good morning. We got Aiko in here. Good morning to you. We got Dutchy sliding on in here. Good morning. Had a lot of fun in a live stream yesterday, sitting in the chats there. We'll kind of have to see if anything comes from that. It's my thing. No copying, says JR. No, it is my thing. You're copying me, sir. I took the trade, so I'm kidding. We can all make some money together. Let's see. Anyone? We got Caliphate in here. BC, do you trade the Monday high low of the week? Not really. There's a lot of data points to really trade off of. I mainly just focus on bigger breakouts. So after nice consolidation ranges, you get to some levels, you find a key level as some support, you show on a shorter term time frame that you have a switch of trend, and I normally kind of jump into a trade off of that. Mainly focus on some Bitcoin. You can see Bitcoin also breaking out of that nice little downwards consolidation, getting a bounce off of that golden pocket fib extension for the bottom side. That would have been where I would take a long. I didn't take a long on Bitcoin, but definitely that area where I would have taken a long, as you are seeing some nice confluence on your indicators here. Actually, let's just dive on in, do the TA on that right now. As you see, we got that nice strong bounce off of our bottom side golden pocket fib extension here. At the same time, you're seeing that MACD cross our indicator line, getting some nice strong upside movements as we're printing some nice green candles on our histogram. We're really just waiting on some money flow here on the daily, but that money flow is getting some nice curvature back towards the upside as that prime oscillator is stacked up with multiple bullish divergences here. You got 1, 2, 3, a bottom side peak seeker that came in. You're getting some reversal signals back towards the upside here, and your volume starting to pick back up too. So could definitely see some continuation towards the upside if you can really start to get some money flow coming in with some strength here. So that's what I'm really waiting for on some Bitcoin. I would like to see it hold this 11,800 and then continue towards the upside there. That is the bottom side of that sideways range we had saw. This is a nice big liquidity sweep towards the downside. We picked up a lot of liquidity on this move towards the downside, and now we're really trying to rehold some of those key levels. So this was the old all-time high from before, really came out to be the bottom side of this sideways range that we had watched for most of July and into August. This move here would have been a nice liquidity sweep, and now we're really trying to reclaim some of those levels. Let's zoom it on in, take a look at that 4 hour there. This 4 hour seeing a little bit of some toppiness, but look at this money flow that we're really trying to see continue towards the upside here. Do have a few bearish divergences, but that money flow getting some curvature back towards the upside. MACD still pointing towards the upside here, as you got that nice little continuation bounce off of that indicator line there. Really waiting to see what happens here at some of the highs this morning. We do have that nice little short-term bounce area, which let's move this line here towards our short-term bounce area that we would like to see for the morning. That's coming in at 112,600. That'd be that area to really see a short-term bouncing for some continuation into our CME gap that is directly towards the upside. Bottom side level starting at $13,500 and ranges all the way up to that $16,000, almost $17,000 mark. There's a lot of liquidity in that area directly above us, so it could be a very, very easy grab towards the upside if we can see that money flow continuing to come in here. Hourly is also looking a little bit toppy. We did make this lower high as we are making a higher high here, so a little bit of a divergence, but that money flow continuing to come on in. We will have to wait to see if we can really hold that top side, this top side range and continue towards the upside there. That was the highs from back here. Nice little retest and continuation towards the upside is what I'd have my eye on if you don't hold that level, coming back to that $11,800 mark. Let's zoom that on in, take a look at that 15-minute there. 15-minute is seeing some nice consolidations. You can see that quite nicely as we are getting quite similar to a pattern that we had seen from yesterday here. Nice little consolidation, making and holding some of the lows at 11, 12, 900. That's where we're really seeing some nice bottom side levels here on the consolidation here on the shorter term time frame, and you're starting to see your money flow come back in this morning. MACD getting that nice little sideways break of our indicator line, and prime oscillator starting to get some sideways momentum as well. So could very, very easily see that continue towards the upside here if you can get that money flow continuing to come in here. That 13,500 could be a little bit of a resistance area, and then we could really continue on towards the upside. After a 5 I was talking on it when wave 1 started. Let's see. After a 5 retrace, but macro structure is bullish. Let's see. Are y'all talking about wave 5 only just started on H-bar? Oh, H-bar. Well, we can definitely take a look at some H-bar as well. Let me get that one on the list for y'all. Let's see. See what else we got. BC, do you see some top 20 coins revisiting their Monday lows on one of the FOMC days? Well, there is the potential if you see some very ugly data. So if you see PPI coming out with some heat, then you could definitely see some downside movement on some of these alts or Bitcoin as well. That is that big data drop I'm kind of watching for. that could push price towards the downside. We will get into that here in a second, as we do have some news articles pulled up to go with that. So I'm seeing 57% hold the link trade. So we are still consolidating here on that 15-minute. We do have this stop loss that we have moved towards the upside for the highs of that last consolidation range. We do have that upside target to really bring it down. I want a long entry, says Gillifant. Hey, that's always great. Why isn't your stream 1080p? Well, it says it's 1080p. I don't know. So let's see what we got for this first news article here. So another U.S. jobs markdown sets the stage for Fed rate cut, BLS criticism. So U.S. job growth in the year through March was probably far less robust than the government figures currently show, underscoring a labor market that shifted into lower gear well before the hiring slowdown this summer. Economists at Wells Fargo, Commercia Bank, Pantheon Macroeconomics expect Bureau of Labor Statistics preliminary benchmark revision on Tuesday to show March payrolls were almost 800,000 jobs less than currently estimated, or about 67,000 jobs a month on average. So you do have a few ones like Nomura Security, Bank of America Corp, and the Royal Bank of Canada say the downgrade could be closer to 1 million. So everyone kind of predicting a bigger downgrade of that. We did see a nice slowdown, but all of this would have been on the last administration. And we will kind of have to see if this downgrade is as massive as they're predicting. 800,000 to the downside and 1 million to the downside. Not really that drastically different. It is a massive move towards the downside on your job numbers. While the dated snapshot of the job growth, a substantial downward revision, would illustrate a labor market with far less steam last year and reinforce expectations for a Federal Reserve interest rate cut. A second year of sizable revisions to the employment count also risk drawing the ire of President Donald Trump, who has criticized the accuracy of BLS data. So a big downward revision to job growth through March of 2025 would have less implications for monetary policy than a downward revision to job growth in more recent months, but it does set the stage for a broader context of how the economy has been doing, said Bill Adams, chief economist at Commercia. All of these things equal downward revisions to job growth and increased pressure to Fed to ease monetary policy. We'll kind of have to watch these big numbers coming out this morning one way or another. It is all forecasted to be to the downside, but we would really have to get, like Piper said yesterday, that the rest of the data printing out favorably. We do have CPI this week. We've got PPI. Both are inflation metrics that could overpower all of this jobs data. We have been seeing a little bit of that decrease of jobs slow down. We are seeing it still the job market still heat up just a little bit, but that slowdown has been a little less drastic than previously. So we are at a point where we're trying to really navigate our current economics from the previous administration's economics. We're doing so through plenty of means like tariffs, trying to promote more jobs in the United States. This all takes time to really go into effect, and some cheaper borrowing costs might not really help the labor market, and that's what people don't always take into account. It takes time for a federal interest rate cut to actually help your job market. You won't see that for 6 months or so, and as we talked about yesterday, there was a lot of warnings coming out of a federal interest rate cut with inflation continuing to go towards the upside. That does increase recession risks, and we will kind of have to see how that PPI print and CPI print comes out this week. Let's get into this one. Morgan Stanley resets GDP forecast for Q3. Let's scroll it on down, skip through all of that there. We did see a lot of GDP decreasing at the beginning of the year, especially with the imports that were coming on in because of some tariffs. People were front running those, really saw that hit to GDP. We did see it get a big boost towards the upside in Q2. And we're really looking for a slowdown as those tariffs have hit the market here. Let's see. Well, we got GDP growth quarter by quarter for 2024. We saw that coming in 1.6, 3%, 3.1, and then that big slowdown in Q4, which is normally that biggest sector, which is normally that biggest quarter. When you're talking about GDP growth, you're talking about economic activity. There's a lot of holidays in there, a lot of money being spent. So Q4, normally that big one that really highlights some of the problems that we're seeing in the economy. 2025 continued on that downward slide, negative GDP for Q1. You did see Q2 coming in strong, 3.3%, and the economy shrank. We'll dive into that here in just a second. The economy shrank in the first quarter, mainly because imports surged, so companies could build inventory ahead of Donald Trump's tariff announcement, impacting the net exports component of GDP. Increased gold imports also negatively impacted GDP as the U.S. investors boosted gold holdings ahead of economic uncertainty associated with tariffs. With the inventory flush, companies didn't have to bring as much product to the U.S. in Q2, allowing GDP to rebound as imports fell. That's a very big part of why we saw that Q2 GDP be so strong. It really didn't have much to do with actual economic growth at all. It had mostly to do with the front running of tariffs in Q1 and not seeing that all happen in Q2. So that really gave that big strong boost towards the upside on Q3. If you really negate some of that, real imports surged 37.9% in Q1 on the front loading effect of tariffs. The Q2 GDP showed this process reversed in the second quarter, with real imports falling 29.8%, wrote a Morgan Stanley analyst. So a lot of that is still showing that your Q2 GDP didn't really actually grow 3.3% from the prior Q1, which has given a lot of people some hopium that, oh, the economy's fine. And that GDP metric is not really on point because the tariffs and import exports really messed with those numbers. So Q3, we're really going to see a little more of that real side effect of our current economy, with tariffs actually being in effect, reciprocal tariffs in effect. Your import exports will have leveled out a little bit more. So this Q3 GDP print will give you a better baseline of how the economy is doing with this administration, unless you see some big games being played. You see some big games being played by Donald Trump. He pokes the bear somewhere in some other country. Then you might see a little bit of some wonkiness on that GDP. But it does take some time for these tariff games that Donald Trump has played to really impact the economy, and you see that level out. That's why I haven't been a fan of a rate cut. You aren't getting real numbers from GDP. Your inflation has been a little bit wonky because of the tariff game. So really waiting to see how that PPI print comes out, because we saw the hottest PPI print last month since we had seen since COVID. That doesn't lead towards a booming economy, and that will also affect the CPI print this month. So really waiting to see when Wednesdays and Thursdays data drops. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I took notes. I'm learning. JR, oh, you're talking about some health issues there. Well, hopefully you get that all managed, JR. I know that can be a little bit of a struggle. My dad got hit with that one late in life, so really had to switch things up. So let's see. Y'all having a little more fun in chats there. Did he say schlong or so strong? So, oh my goodness. Yeah, because I need people around the world manifesting my foot loss moving forward. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Anything else to this? Nope. Y'all just being some absolute degens in the chat. Actually, my spot positions are out of control though. I can't manage. I need to consolidate. Oh, well, that's why I've been in Bitcoin and Bitcoin only until quite recently. I did take some profits on Bitcoin, looking to roll those over into some other assets. Oh my goodness, y'all some absolute degens in the chat. All right, let's pull up this Fannie Mae request from earlier. Let's get this going here. I can't remember where we had taken a look at it. I do believe it was in the sideways consolidation range, if I'm not mistaken. Let's get this zoomed on out to that higher term time frame here. That daily looking extremely nice here, but starting to see a little bit of some toppiness as you approach that one line on our fib extensions here. That money flow is sitting nicely in the green here on the daily. You can see that coming in with some strength here, getting that nice curvature towards the upside, but starting to see some overbought signals as you did start to see some resistance on that one line on our fib extensions here. So I believe we had talked about it way back here at that 50% line. I was coming in at about $10.88. You've got that nice strong move towards the upside, $14.48. I do think this could continue towards the upside. Let's zoom that on out to the weekly so you can get that better view there. Weekly seeing some nice moves for some continuation towards the upside here. I would look at that 1618 target on my fib extensions here. That's coming in at about $18.79. Could see a little bit of pullback before then, but overall continuing to make those higher lows. You can see that coming in higher lows, higher highs here to see us pull back a little bit, probably around that 382 there with a little bit of strength. Not too unexpected. Nice little area to continue to accumulate on Fannie Mae if we do get that nice little pullback to the 382 coming in about $10. I would probably load up a little bit more on that, especially with how that weekly chart is looking. Nice for some continuation. Daily is looking a little bit toppy, but still continuing to see that money flow coming in. MACD getting that continued move towards the upside here off of that indicator line. Prime oscillator also seeing some continuation towards the upside, and money flow starting and continuing to come back in. Let's see, hourly is looking a little bit toppy there, so that's why I'm saying a little bit of some pullback is not too unexpected. You are seeing that resistance come in at that one line. You are seeing those bearish divergences stacked up on that prime oscillator. You are seeing a little bit of some toppiness here on the hourly, so to see a little bit of some pullback here, not too unexpected. Could see that dip all the way down to about our golden pocket to our 50% range again. See that golden pocket retest, hold that 1180 would be a very, very nice strong move for some continuation towards the upside. Let's get that. And the 15-minute in the morning there, 15-minute in the morning, really, really highlighting some of that toppiness there. Did get that high and then a last little higher high here as we rejected with some strength off of that one line on our fib extensions. You did see this come in as a lower high here as well. So bearish divergences stacked up between the 15-minute and the hourly could lead to a little bit of some downside and then some continuation towards the upside there. All right, that was Fannie Mae for you, FNMA. Let's see what we got. We had GMX. Let's see, we got French Toaster in the chat. Good morning to you, sir. Hope you're having a great day so far. We got Donato Cabrera sliding in here as well. Good morning to the both of you. Do you have any new stock picks? I don't have any new stock picks. I have been loading up my bags on my current stocks. I have been really leaning a little bit heavy on some gold stocks recently, just because I do have a little bit of worries about our economy, especially if we do get that interest rate cut with some of the inflation pressures that we're seeing. I have been leaning a little bit heavy on my gold picks. Since we're on there right now, let's pull up some of my gold picks. As you can see here, this is a gold mining stock here. This is CDE, Sear Mining Incorporated. I've owned this stock for quite a while. Quite a while here. And as you can see, as gold has got that upside movement, so has CDE. They mine gold, and they mine silver, and they mine copper as well. So big move towards the upside, as gold has got that move towards the upside and silver has got that move towards the upside, making some highs, coming up to some of the resistance that we had seen from prior. This was about $16.41. We're sitting a little bit underneath that right now, but could very easily continue towards the upside there. We also got my other gold stock pick here is EGO. I've been in this one for a while as well, getting back up to that 382 here after some nice sideways movements. This one also is a strictly gold stock, so that is, as gold has got those upside moves, these gold stocks have got those upside moves as well. So definitely seeing some nice moves in my safety picks recently on the stock side. So those were my two real gold picks that I've been layering a little bit heavier into. That's EGO and CDE. Not financial advice, but that's just where I've been putting some extra money, as I have seen a little bit of some worries. We've got Bob Lornis asking about ETH. Well, we can take a look at that one as well. Let's see. We've got GMX. I'm not sure if that's a crypto, but we'll see if it's a crypto. If it would actually delete my stuff. GMX on Binance. We'll pull that up there. Nice little consolidations here on the daily. It is seeing some lower highs and lower lows. Pull it up on the weekly. I don't know if it's finished making lows there. So let's see. Weekly starting to look a little bit toppy as you remain below that zero line. If we did make some bottoming there, nice little bottom there. You've got those nice wicks up to the 382. 382 is a strong resistance area. You are starting to make a higher low, but you've got some very strong resistance to get above in our current level at $18.09. So let's get that horizontal drawn out. Not sure what this project is at all. Gonna make that a little bit thicker there. All right, let's get that zoomed on in. Take a look at the daily here. Daily is seeing some nice bottoming action here. See if we can get that nice strong move towards the upside here, as that MACD gets the curvature, prime oscillator gets the curvature. Money flow trying to break into the positive here would probably come with that break above our highs there. That'd be that $18.23. Seeing on hourly starting to look a little bit toppy, not dissimilar to what we've seen in the rest of the markets here. Get that pulled on up there. You can see it is making those lower highs and lower lows, but it is getting some nice curvature here. So could very, very easily see that push back up towards that 1820 on the macro, but you are seeing a little bit of some toppiness here on the hourly. So would like to see us hold the bottom side of this range coming in at $13.87. Let's get that drawn out. This would be our short-term area to really hold there. Make that a 2. There we go. So that's that short-term area we would really like to see hold. We would need to break above some of our local highs here to really get back up to the macro area at $18.23. Let's get this pulled up on the 15 minute. 15 minute also looking a little bit toppy there. So to see a little bit of some pullback would not be too unexpected. Could very easily see that pulling back to about 1469. We'll see what would wait to see what happens at that price point. If you do break below that, then looking back down to our lows would be what I would look for. Dang, you guys still up from last night or just up early today? But me, I got some nice about 5 hours of sleep. Yeah, 5 hours and 22 minutes. So I'm not up from last night, but some of these degens absolutely might be. I know JR rarely gets some sleep, and then he just sleeps all at once. Jesse sometimes does the same thing. I think all the metals are desired by someone. Out of the 8 billion, rotation may be a bunch of randoms buying most likely. I think a lot of it has been with safety. You've seen gold being bought up at levels that we haven't seen in a long time. So that has really lent to some of the strength of gold. You have governments amassing gold treasuries like crazy. China's been buying gold at a premium for quite a while now, and they continue to do so. So definitely could continue to see gold running towards the upside there. So 53% saying hold the link trade. We will kind of have to, I'll redo that poll real quick. Let's end that and then redo it since I showed you all the chart. And let's see if we hold or take profit. Hold or TP. Y'all let me know after y'all saw that chart and you saw those upside targets, if everyone's still saying hold or if they're thinking take some profits and really try to find a different trade. We might have to find that trade on another day though. We are seeing H-bar seeing some little bit of resistance here on the shorter term time frame at our golden pocket there. But let's zoom this on out. Take a look at this daily here. Daily getting that nice little bounce off of 20 cents, an area we had talked about here a while ago. I guess that's pulled from July. So some resistance at that 50, nice little pullback towards our support and trying to push back above our golden pocket right now. Let's see, we got that nice little break above, actually testing that trend line right now. Let's get that pulled on up there. We're seeing those that trend line coming on in off of the candle bodies. You can see that really retesting that trend line right now. So if you get above that trend line, could really see some strength back up. That 50% line would be that real upside target here. You're seeing that prime oscillator getting the curvature towards the upside. MACD, same, getting that nice strong curvature towards the upside. Let's see what the 4 hour just starting to look a little bit toppy there, but could really see that continue on towards the upside if you break above that trend line there. Let's see what the hourly is looking like. Hourly looking like you could also see a little bit of some pullback, so probably come back down to that nice little highs, 22 cents. That was a nice strong support area that we've seen below our golden pocket. Get a little bit of a retest there, cool off some of that, and then continue on towards the upside of that trend line, and then get some continuation towards the upside there. Let's see, 15 minute in the morning, looking a little bit toppy as well. So could definitely see that pull back down. Got a little range that you come down to about 23 cents for the top side of this consolidation to about 22 and a half cents. So that's that area I would kind of look for some bottom side. Quick look at Ethereum before we wind that on down. We're seeing 90% say take profits on link. All right. I guess we're going to take some profits on some link, and then we'll see what we want to take a trade on next. All right. Ethereum looking nice and consolidated here. Let's get this hourly pulled on up. I guess y'all are not into some swing trading and you like those nice quick moves there. We might have to start upping the leverage a little bit before we take some trades there. You can see ETH starting to make some higher lows here on the macro. So you did get that higher high coming in with a higher low. Would really like to see us break above this trend line, and that would give us that strength to break above what was an old resistance area. Let's get this hidden. So Ethereum would need to get above that, and our short-term trend line, if it would, is that the, no, not the right rectangle. We'll just delete it there. There we go. That was quicker. All right, we do have this area to kind of get above. You can kind of see the trend line there coming in off of some of those highs. That would be that area that we're trying to break above right now. Let's get that zoomed on in. Take a look at that 4 hour coming in with a little bit of some toppiness, but could definitely continue as we're seeing that break above. You can see those tests there, rejected off of there, get that nice little wick above, and we're trying to hold it right now. So a little bit of a retest on top of it, not too unexpected. 15-minute looking a little bit toppy, trying to get that retest on top of that what was tested on before. Was able to break out, got that nice little liquidity grab, drop back down, consolidated quite nicely, and now we're really waiting to see if we get that retest and continuation. JR is a TP man. Oh, starting to drop back down. We've got 11 votes, 82% saying take profit, 18% saying hold. I guess y'all are not big swingers and you like the short-term trades there. All right. Well, let's get over to that. And we had this link trade here. We're sitting 14% profit there, so we will close that position 100%, and we will find the next trade. Gonna have to start upping that leverage just a little bit there. Only AI I can beat JR when it comes to, oh my goodness. Do you have your eye on any other precious metals other than gold? Not really. I'm old school, so I like to focus on gold, platinum a little bit, but silver is that big one that I also watch along with gold. Oh, wrong button there. Wrong button. Oops. Hitting all of the wrong buttons there. We will find that next trade tomorrow, and then we will up some leverage so we can get some better gains together as a community. It is about time. It is past time to head over to that morning motivational video though, so make sure to tune in to that morning market report this morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time. We get some nice data coming out this morning. I say nice, but it's a heavy data drop. So tune in. That'll be dropping at 10 a.m. Eastern time. We also got that trading with OC at 8 p.m. Eastern time. A great place to have some fun in the evenings. Other than that, make sure to wake up because today's going to be a good day.